Hi, welcome to GEDU 5017. I am Dr. Driscoll, and I am thrilled to be able to teach this course with you. The course obviously is all about differentiated planning and teaching, and I got my start as a special education teacher many years ago. So I spent many years differentiating my instruction, my assessments, and meeting a wide range of student needs. So I really enjoy teaching this class and talking about all of those topics with future teachers. So I just wanted to go through the syllabus a little bit. Up at the top here is just some housekeeping information. You'll see that I do include my cell phone. I am the chair of the department and co-dean of the school, so I get a lot of emails in a day. So if you have a question that you want a quick answer to, email may not be the quickest way to get a hold of me. So I'm more than happy to text with you. Feel free to send me a text if you ever need it. Of course, you can email me, call my office line, however you want to get a hold of me. But please don't hesitate to send me a text if there's a kind of a time sensitive issue or question for you. In terms of office hours, since this is an asynchronous online course, I really offer them whenever a need comes up. So feel free to ask. I'm more than willing to meet at a time that works best for you. Just go ahead and ask. So I trust that you're going to look through the syllabus and read the course description, then the course objectives, and all of the standards, the many standards that the course addresses. But ultimately, what you're going to learn in this class is how to differentiate your instruction for students with disabilities, English language learners, and your gifted and talented students. So gone are the days really that we can teach to the middle. We really do have to teach to all of the students in front of us, and classrooms are increasingly diverse. So you're going to find that the strategies you learn in this class they extend far beyond students who struggle or students who far exceed grade level expectations. They really are applicable to all. But we're going to anchor most of our discussion in students with disabilities, English language learners, and gifted and talented students. But like I said, I trust you're going to read through all of these, all this information. I'm going to come down here to the course calendar. One quick note, our online class does go from Monday to Sunday each week. So most things for me will be due on Sunday evenings. If I don't give a time, it's generally midnight. And then on Sunday evenings, I post for the next week to start the next day on Monday. Each week, I give you the topics that we're going to talk about, all of the readings that are due. So either if it's in the text, I'll tell you what to read, but if it's a supplemental reading, I have it linked here. Videos are linked here as well. And then anything that might be due. Each week, you'll have group notes, which I'll talk about in a minute. And then every few weeks, a more formal assignment is due, which is listed in here in bold as well to help you kind of keep track. Don't forget, we've got winter break that I did plan for in February. And then here it is. I do combine the 2 weeks around Easter because you do have like a half a week off, and just with the holiday, we're all adults, we all get really busy. So I do kind of combine those 2 weeks in terms of, covering the content for that 1 week. Scrolling down some more, this is the required text. I am not a textbook kind of person. I really like using materials, professional development, resources that current teachers use. And that's what this is. This is a text that many teachers know and use. And I think you're going to get a lot out of it. You will see as you look through, there are many other resources that I have you read, but this is such a staple in terms of the content of this course that I wanted to make sure you had it and were familiar with it, because I guarantee classroom teachers out there would be able to have conversations with you about it. So it's just the one required text. I do list 3 recommended readings. You do not have to buy them. You don't have to read them, but they all lend themselves to the content of this course. And again, they're all books that current teachers know very well and use. So if you wanted to take a look at them just to see what they contain, I own all of them. You could always ask to borrow one. But like I said, they're not required by any means. They're just like I said, some titles that I think you might find really useful. And then, of course, we'll be using the literacy standards for several assignments for this course. So I linked them, both the ELA and then the 612 learning standards for literacy for the content areas here, just for your convenience. So here are the assignments for the course. You'll see the first is group notes. I'll talk about that in a minute, but I kind of combine participation into that assignment. I don't grade that separately. And then the rest are all formal assignments. So I have the due dates and how much they're worth. But then if you scroll down further, I give a more full description of what each of them are, including any materials you might need for it, and then rubrics for each of them. I'm not going to dig into them now. I'll do that more when we get closer to them, because they'll make more sense after you address some content. But I do want to talk about group notes. So I've never really been a fan of the, discussion prompts or, discussion boards, because I feel like everyone ends up kind of repeating each other, and that's just not really a great use of everyone's time or the most valuable learning experience. So what I'm going to ask you to do is engage in group notes. So I've already grouped you into smaller groups, and what I'll ask you to do in your group every week is to have a discussion virtually in a Google Doc. So after you do the readings, watch the videos, whatever is due for the week, you'll go to this Google Doc, and that's where you'll kind of unpack what were the key points of what you read, what were the major takeaways for you, what connections could you make to prior learning or to experiences you've had in the classroom, what questions do you have, or whatever. I want this to be something that really shows a deep engagement with the content rather than just a summary of what you read. So what my expectation is, which is described here, is that you'll post your own notes, whether it's comments, questions, whatever, and then you'll respond to one another in your small group as well. So by the end of the week, what I will see is almost like a transcript of some kind of discussion, a virtual discussion that is engaging, that engages all group members and really does show some deep conversation with one another. I may provide feedback, especially if I feel like you could dig a little bit deeper, or if I see maybe a misunderstanding, I might chime in, but this is really a discussion for you. And I'm kind of like a fly on the wall by reading it. I'll show you where that is in Google Classroom in just a minute. But so my one, not caution, reminder, I guess, is make sure you put your initials near or where or however you choose to do it in your group, but make it really obvious what your contributions are. I could always go back in the Google Doc and click the history to see who added what, but I'd rather not take time by having to go back and forth between versions. It's just way easier if you can just put your initials in there. And then each week, you're just going to keep adding to that same Google Doc. So hopefully you'll find that a little bit more engaging than, like I said, traditional discussion prompts or like discussion boards. Of course, there are plenty of policies in here that you've seen before. So I won't go any more into the syllabus, but what I will do is go to our Google Classroom. So hopefully you're somewhat familiar. I know a lot of instructors use Moodle because that's what the college uses. Personally, I'm not a fan, but I think it's really important for you to engage in Google Classroom because when you're out in schools teaching, that's probably what you're going to be using. So I like the idea of you experiencing it as a student and mastering it as a student so that when you're ready to go and teach or even student teach, you'll be able to use it well as the teacher as well. So anything I'll post every week, I'll post, what everything actually that's in the syllabus, what the readings are, what the assignments are, what the topics are. I will always include the Google Slides as well as the video for the week, which is also linked in the syllabus. But really where you're going to focus most of your attention is in the classwork tab. Anything you're literally going to do is here. I believe, you might have to correct me if I'm wrong. You should only see your group notes that you were assigned to. You shouldn't see all three, I think, but then all of the formal assignments are here. So this is where you will read about them. You'll find the rubric, you'll submit them, what have you. For the group notes, I'm just going to click into this one group. This is the same description as what is in the syllabus, but you'll see that there's a Google Doc. That's what you'll click into, and this is what you'll contribute to every week. And you're just going to keep adding. You know, I already have, oh, I thought I put week 1. I did not. I just label it for you. So you'll have group or week 1 and then your notes, week 2 and then your notes. And what I will do is I'm going to grade it each week. So rather than have a separate grade for each of the weeks, I'm just going to keep adding. It's worth 2 points every week. So in total, this is worth 30 points. If you click in it, well, this looks different for you, I think, but you'll see it's worth 30 points. I'm just going to keep adding every week. So when you see 2 points the first week, don't freak out. It's because it's only the first week. I find that it's probably just easiest that way. And I don't believe you have a grades tab here. You might correct me if I'm wrong, but there is a place for you up on the left-hand side, I believe, that from the stream that you can track your grade. So you will always have the most current version of what your grade is if you, as long as you're submitting everything on time. So that's about it. If you have any questions about Google Classroom specifically, like I said, please don't hesitate to ask, especially if it's new to you. If you have any questions about the syllabus, please don't hesitate to ask, especially about any of the assignments or anything within the course calendar. And otherwise, I'm just really excited to start virtually discussing things with you. So I hope you have a great class.